Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about making mistakes, ruminating about them, and how to stop dwelling on them and stop feeling bad about yourself. So most of the time we start feeling bad about something we did because of the way that it affected someone we care about, or the way that a group of people view us, whether it be someone you know or doesn't know, someone you want to view you positively. And usually it has to do with something that you feel you did wrong, and that will change the view of yourself in other people's eyes in a negative way. The thing about that is, usually the people around you don't think about the things that you did as much as you do. Chances are that they have recognized what you did, but they probably don't think about it anymore. They've probably forgiven you, and it's not something on their mind. And probably their view of you hasn't changed if you know them well. So they have moved on from something that you did, which should give you permission to move on as well. So when it comes to these thoughts and judging yourself, sometimes you might mix your thoughts with the truth, like, I did this, therefore I am a bad person, versus like, I know I did something bad and it makes me feel like I'm a bad person. There's a big difference between saying you are and saying you feel a certain way. So if you can like distinguish those two, like, you are a good person that can recognize their mistakes, but also, I made this mistake and it was something that I shouldn't have done, but now I can learn from it. Kind of separating the two, like, I am not a bad person for doing this, I just feel like I am, sort of thing. It kind of helps you be able to change the mindset because you recognize that it's only a feeling and not truth. The thing about thinking about your past mistakes and regretting and learning from them is that it's good in moderation. The problem with ruminating is that when you think about it too much, the negative thoughts kind of get worse and worse in your head. You replay it over and over again, and your brain starts to create like new scenarios where it actually seems worse than it actually was. So your regret and rumination just gets worse and worse, and it's harder to stop when it keeps going like that. So learning to figure out when to stop and just say it happened and move on is important. So the first step is recognizing rumination when it's happening. So catching yourself being like, oh, that's me thinking about this mistake again. And usually you're thinking about what bad things happened and what could have gone better, which you can actually take a step higher and like think of the best and worst case scenarios. So what is the worst thing that could have possibly happened, and be thankful that it didn't happen. And also, after you think about that, think about the best thing that could have happened, because that can help you see that it wasn't as terrible as you perceive it to be. There's also a difference between brooding and like self-reflection. Like, when you brood, it's more like you're judging yourself, but when you're reflecting upon things, it's more like you are distancing yourself from what you did and more like learning from it. So when you think about something that you did wrong that you regret, try not to associate it with yourself too much. You can recognize it as something that you did and something you can move forward from. It also helps to kind of structure the way that you think about this stuff. So writing it down or talking with someone and kind of limiting the time that you allow yourself to think about it. So when you write stuff down, you can get it out of your head, or when you talk with someone about it, it helps you kind of think things through. One of the most important things is self-compassion. A good way to do this is think about what you would say to someone else if they were saying to you the things that you're saying to yourself. If you kind of talk to yourself in a way that you would talk to other people, you happen to be more self-compassionate, because I think everyone talks to themselves in ways that they would never talk to another person. So learning to be kind to yourself is important. And the last part is just saying, oh well, and moving on, because you can't change what happened. You've heard this millions of times before, but something happens, you make a mistake, you learn from it, and you move on. And that happens all the time. Sometimes the process is slower than others, and sometimes it's annoying how long it lasts, but you can use some of these steps to move on. So, learning to get to the end, saying, oh well, and moving on is where you want to get, and I hope that this video can help you a little bit with getting there, and I will see you guys in the next video.